Good morning, everybody. It's Barb Katie here, and today is a rainy day. We have, for the last little while, been having a slow, steady rain. Still pretty warm out there, and as a result, it's quite humid, but it is a rainy day. So it's a day where I will need to make my own sunshine. This is also Labor Day. So this is theoretically a day off for everybody, a day to relax, to reflect, to enjoy, to appreciate their lives in every aspect thereof. And I've been sort of doing that this morning. I didn't prepare um, a presentation as such for you, where I really focus on and consider remarks very, very carefully before I go live. Instead, I just wanted to sort of chat with you from my heart today and make this a personal reflection day for me and perhaps for you too. Maybe you can put some of your thoughts today in the chat box. My background today is not a background, it's my office. This is actually what is behind me as I sit at my desk every day and talk to you. There is a picture of the man of La Mancha there, and below that, where you can't quite see, is a Ansel Adams photograph that I'm very fond of. And above the picture of Don Quixote is a saying that says, "It is what it is." And then you'll notice on the shelf, on the bookcase, I've got a little jar of blessings, a wooden treasure box that has some things that are actually from my childhood, little trinkets that are still very near and dear to me. In there is a little brass dog that my father gave to me to pin on my Sunday school coat. Every Sunday morning in the wintertime, we would dress up for going to church and Sunday school. And he had bought me this cute little brass dog. It looks sort of like a terrier. And I've had it all these many years. And then there is a wooden cutout of a maple leaf with a loonie in it that was given to me by one of my Canadian friends. And to the side of that is my favorite picture of Mrs. Manns. It shows her as a young woman in 1948 when she started Tops, and then in the late 60s, and then in the last years where she was president of the organization. And that sort of reminds me of her intent all these years. Has always been pretty much the same, to look for an affordable way to help those of us who deal with obesity on a daily basis to find sound, valid advice that will help us in our journey and empower us to understand that we are much more than a number on a scale, and that as we are where we are at this very point in time, we are of incredible value to so many people. We are not determined by a number on a scale. So when I come into my office, that's sort of what greets me. And then the little thing on the pedestal in front of Mrs. Manns's picture is actually, you can't make it out really well just by the way the light is hitting it, is the Tops hologram trophy that I really like. It looks like Tops is inside this glass cube. And then the little bit of color right to the edge of the frame is a commemorative plate that was made for the 50th anniversary of Tops Club Incorporated. That's 25 years ago. That's incredible. Come this January, we will be celebrating 75 years as an organization. And then on the top of the bookshelf is a collection, a very eclectic collection, I will point out, of some little books that people have sent me, or I have collected, or I still go to for references. And there are several other bookshelves here in the room that are similar. On this particular bookshelves, there are a lot of children's books. I find great wisdom in children's books. Very often, I think it is the author's way of communicating with the parent who is reading the story to the child that this is going to be okay, that we're going to be able to get through this with humor and grace, and these children are going to be just fine. We just need to keep on keeping on. And what I've been reflecting about today is the incredible journey that Esther started for so many of us so many, many years ago. And the fact that as I think back, the purpose is still there. The purpose has not changed. Yes, a lot of things ancillarily to the purpose have changed, but not the mission. The mission remains the same, to help and support each other as we lose our weight, as we go to our best health. That's our journey, that's our mission, that's our challenge, that's our call. And as long as we keep that in mind, everything else sort of shifts into place. I know so many people have gotten upset here lately about small things, things that really, in the broad scheme of life, may not be earth shaking. Irritating, absolutely, and we all have to deal with irritation in our own way. But life threatening, life altering, probably not, probably just frustrating. And how we deal with our frustrations is really quite important. I know there was a time in my life where I would tend to bottle up my frustrations. And instead of dealing whatever the issue was, I would eat something. I'd say, well, okay, I'll just go eat this. It'll make me feel better and I won't have to confront the issue. I could just let it go and stuff myself with food and I'll feel better. Well, you all know how that works. It doesn't. And then I would begin to feel upset with myself because I had used food as a coping technique, which was counterintuitive. You know, in no way was that going to ameliorate the problem that was causing the frustration to begin with. So you learn as you go through life. Rearing children was a daily education. I learned probably more from growing up as a child and rearing children as I have from anything else. And I find at this stage in my life, now that I have grandkids, it's the best time of all. I'm much more relaxed, much more long-term visionary than I was in the moment at the time in those other stages of my life. And I think Mrs. Mans probably was that way too, that, you know, she had critical initiatives as she was rearing her 5 children that demanded her immediate attention. And then when she had available to her time to devote to the world around her, as well as her children and her family and their needs, she started this wonderful organization for us and reached out and expanded her caring and her desire to help people in real and critical ways. And I'm grateful this morning to have been allowed to work to carry on her good work. My life has been a blessing. I cannot imagine another track I would have wanted to take. Do I sometimes get tired? I was reflecting today how many weeks we have shared together since COVID. And yet I am so grateful that I've had these experiences with you every week, because you have taught me every single time we have come together another lesson that I needed to learn or to be reminded of as we have come along. And that's a good thing. Getting together regularly, talking with each other regularly about the issues we're trying to deal with to get to where we want to go in our journey is what's most important. And I find sometimes that we let ourselves get in our own way when we're doing these types of things. This week, there have been some cranky posts in our site, people frustrated, people being super critical of others. And that to me always says that the author of the post is probably dealing with difficult things as well. It's just not the thing that's seems to be frustrating them, but it's how they're responding to it. I think all of us try to do the very best we know how. And as long as we do that with kindness and concern for each other instead of criticism and fault finding, we'll be okay. It's sort of like I used to say to my sons when they were growing up. I would say, "I love you dearly with all my heart, but at this moment in time, I don't like you very much." And that sort of expresses for me the frustration that some of us feel. It's probably not the person themselves, it's the actions that the persons are making that you find frustrating, bothersome, or irritating. Uh, and you need sometimes to get past that and just say, okay, how can I deal with this? How can I fix this? How can I look to a positive outcome for me? Each of us has to determine for a large part how we are going to interpret the events in our lives. This summer, I had a whole series of really hard events happen in my life that involved not me directly, but involved me indirectly. We had a lot of family illness. We had a lot of challenges. We had some death in our family. How do you get through that? How does that not color your entire world? I remember my sister once telling a story. My sister's younger than me, and I'll close with this story because I don't want to spend all of your day just chatting about personal memories. But this to me incorporates how we help each other, how we stay supportive, how we are there for each other when maybe all we can do is just simply be present in the moment with the person. A few years ago, a good friend of mine lost her son. It was a tragic, tragic accident. It happened on a baseball field. He was playing ball and he dropped dead suddenly. At that particular time, my two oldest sons were still in the military and they were overseas in harm's way. And as soon as I reached out to her, she said, "Barb, you have better things to do. You've got your two boys." And I said, "No." I said, "No, I have to come to be with you." I said, "Your need right now is much more critical than my need." And so down I went to help her make arrangements and to get things set up and to be of whatever comfort I could be, probably just be, and hold the tissue box. And my sister came over to join us for the memorial service and for the viewing. And she had been a tremendous help, and we had gone through everything we needed to do. And my girlfriend was holding up really, really well. And I was trying to be strong for her, and we were, it's a small town. Everybody knows everybody, and it was a sad time. Anyway, uh, I had to make my leave finally, and her family was all there, and she was going to be okay, as okay as you can be in a situation. And we left the funeral home and got outside in the parking lot, and I broke down, which I don't do very often, but I broke down and I just began to sob and sob and sob. And my sister, who is younger than me and almost never sees me like that, is taken aback. And she does not know what to do to help me. So she takes her arm and she puts it on my back and she begins patting me. And she says, and she's saying, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. And I looked at her and I said to her, you don't have to do anything. All you have to do is just be there and let me be. And so she wrapped her arms around me and I cried for a while and I was okay. And how often is it that what we really need is just someone else in a time of difficulty to simply be there in the moment to help us get through it. Don't have to fix anything for us, don't have to take any action, just be a supporter, a kind, calm presence. And as I reflect on that today, on the day where we're all supposed to relax and rest, I am so grateful to know so many wonderful people that I have met through TOPS are those supporters, those people who are there for you in any time, in whatever way they can be, to help you get through the rough spots. They're not going to do it for you. You're not going to expect them to do it for you. But isn't it great to know that we can get by with a little help from some wonderful, wonderful TOPS friends? So on this Labor Day, I say, thank you all, one and all. You have a wonderful day. And thank you for your good work and for your caring concern of each other and of me. Have a great one. Bye-bye.